Hmm. All right, so I did log in just a second ago, and I got a couple, actually three of my auctions sold. I sold some light feathers, and I sold some leather. So I ended up making about 50 silver, which is, for someone who's only got like 4 gold, that's actually really good. So that shows me that light leather and light feathers actually sell pretty well. They sell for enough money that, for me being the only character on this account on this server, certainly worth, putting that stuff up. And I won't probably pass on any option to kill, monsters that are in front of me that I can skin because I can make money off of them. As long as they're high enough level that I will also get some experience. Like no sound in game right now. If I can fix what's going on with the game. Yeah, I don't hear anything. Yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong with the audio. Let me fix this. I checked out some of the add-ons that I had that were out of date. I updated a few of them. Updated OmniCC. I tried to update Gather Light, but there isn't a new version of Gather Light, so I'm using an out-of-date version, which I don't like to use out-of-date add-ons because they tend to throw errors, but I'm using it, and hopefully it isn't throwing too many errors. The add-ons I have that are out of date are mixed scrolling battle text, but I just can't live without that. I love that add-on so much. Now I did install and also ring menu, but that's such a small add-on. I'm not really worried about that one. I do have this parrot thing, so let's turn on parrot real quick. Parrot is very similar to mixed scrolling battle text. The thing though is with mixed scrolling battle text, I have so many triggers that I've created that are really useful that I like. So, but if we look at this parrot, um, it's very similar. I can see events. It has triggers as well. Although I don't see how I could create a new one here. New trigger. I'm gonna say, what am I, a warrior? Primary conditions. Yeah. See, this is basically whoever created this copied MSPT because it has a lot of the same things. Like I could say aura gain, aura type buff spell is gonna be battle shout. Does it find it? You need buff spell ID, buff name or spell ID. So the buff name would be this, which is battle shout. So if I get here, new condition, buff, battle shout, unit. Okay, now we're gonna. Yeah, I don't know. Already, just looking at it, I certainly don't like it as much as MSPT. We're gonna get rid of that. I hope somebody updates MSPT, but it may not get updated. My sound still is not hearing anything. And I hate how like there's one of my add-ons is preventing me from going into options while in game while in combat. I don't know which one is doing that, but really annoying. I hate that I can't go into that while I'm in combat. I don't know which add-on's doing that. Interface action failed because of that. And it looks like MSBT is not working either. Once I switched that other one. So I'm going to do a full reload again. Add-ons can be a real pain in the butt. One of the things that is nice about getting, like... One thing that's nice, you know, is once you get it set up in a specific version of WoW, if you know you're not going to be... I mean, I don't think... Like, we'll be playing Burning Crusade for a while, so... And it keeps doing this. So one of my add-ons is being a butt, but... Let's get rid of Gatherer Light, just because I know I don't necessarily need that. Hey, Robbie, I do not. I do not like leveling enhancement shamans. I just don't. I don't know what it is about shamans. I have a hard time with shamans. I don't like totem management. I think the biggest thing with shamans that bugs me is I don't like dealing with totems. Now, if we go out of the add-ons, the only one I have... Let's get rid... No, we need ring menu. So the only out-of-date add-ons I had are MSBT and ring menu. Yeah, I have a hard time leveling shamans because I just dislike the totems. I just like always having to like drop them and manage them, and it just seems annoying to me. Shit. MSBT's not working. It's not even coming up. Son of a... Oh, it's because I didn't... Such a... What happens when you muck around with your add-ons? Yeah, I like Protection Paladin. It's very fun. And there's yeah, like when you get to the juicy talents, like there's so much. You're so tanky as a Protection Paladin, so it's fun. No doubt about it, you know.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You know, it seems like it would be similar to Protection Paladin Shaman. It's kind of like the counterpart, but it really, you know, it really to me is not. It does not feel like a Shaman at all. I mean, a Paladin at all to me. You know.
Lovely. Lovely. You can kiss your ass goodbye. Lovely.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure how I want to level this character. I should level arms because if I go into arena as a warrior in TBC, I will definitely probably be playing arms. So I'm probably gonna have to level arms, which is not really my favorite like leveling spec for warrior. It's probably my least favorite leveling spec. But it's not as bad as you might think. I mean, there's still, you can still dual wield. I mean, just because your arms doesn't mean you can't dual wield, and you can weapon swap between two hand, one hand, sword and board. You can pretty much do it all. You're just more tailored to using a two-hand weapon.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I installed this other add-on called Leatrix Plus, which gives you all these little options, but I'm such an old school World of Warcraft player that I can tell, like when I install an add-on, I can tell if it affects the smoothness of the game engine. And it did. Like the way my character moved was definitely affected. It wasn't quite as smooth as it normally is. And not only for me, but for people watching the stream, I don't want you guys to have to watch, I don't want you to watch anything that doesn't look good, that doesn't look smooth and crisp. So I completely disabled that. In fact, I was getting a little bit out of control there and installed like 2 or 3 add-ons. And I don't use a lot of add-ons. I don't like to. And after that one, I installed that, and I was like, man, this is affecting my. Then I just immediately like disabled like 3 add-ons. I was like, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. I don't need this one. And really, the add-ons I use, the add-ons that I really depend upon that I really like is mixed scrolling battle text. Neat plates or any kind of a really good nameplate add-on. I'm using neat plates, which works really good. And Z-Pearl, and I just like to put my target window here down here and my player window down at the bottom of the screen, and I like Z-Pearl's it's not the best, but it looks okay. I mean, it looks almost like kind of like WoW-like. It's a little bit. I would love to see a little portrait window here. Now you can put the character window there, but I don't really like the way it looks. Like I can go to player and turn on the portrait here, but I think it looks like shit, to be honest. I can turn off 3D portrait, and I think that looks like shit, to be honest. I would love to have like a little griffin, like a little dragon or something, and I think there's add-ons you can get, but I'd love this little something here to kind of denote this is the player. And it would only be on the player one, it wouldn't be on the target. And I know I think there's add-ons for that, so maybe I'll try to find one. Something that's really lightweight that doesn't affect the smoothness of the engine. One thing I've found is that when I'm leveling, like when I'm on a warrior, like especially when you don't have good gear, which I found that out, of course, playing a hardcore warrior, leveling a hardcore warrior all the way to 60, that Sunder Armor is actually a really, really good ability. And that when I used to test doing fights where I wouldn't use Sunder Armor, and then I would test the fight against the same mob where I would use Sunder Armor, and the mob always went down a lot faster when I was using Sunder. Even just throwing in like 2 Sunder Armors, you know, you've reduced their armor by 180. And it does help quite a bit. Plus, you don't have a lot of skills and it only costs 15 rage, as opposed. Well, I guess heroic's 15, but still, 15 isn't too bad. And if you're going up against like a bear or anything with really high armor, then you definitely want to be using Sunder Armor. Hey, Sam. I did sleep, Sam. I slept for, what, like 2 hours maybe? Or an hour and a half? And then the cats woke me up. Yeah, the cats woke me up, and I was like, ah. I was awake at that point once the cats were yelling and being butts. Why am I in combat? I don't know. Want to get this character to 70, Sam. Can't do it if I'm not playing. We got to be in the game, baby. We got to be in the game. Yeah, the like most guys, most leveling guides will tell you not to use improved rend. And it depends. Like improved rend's actually not bad if you don't have any benefits. Like if it's your only character on a server like this one is, and you don't have any money, and you don't have any friends on the server, and you don't have anybody who's going to help you in any way, and you're doing everything on you're pretty much completely self-reliant, then having the improved rend is not that bad, because the fights are going to take longer because your gear is just not going to be good. So but it's still not probably the best. Like, it's still not going to be your best bang for your buck. You want to get deflection for sure. 5 of 5 on deflection. And then I'm going to go into Iron Will, because I'll probably go into Iron Will. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure what my talents are going to be. Yeah, the improve round. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right here. Now, deep wounds and impale. These you're definitely going to want to get if you're going arms. But not enough rage. Whoa, what was I hitting? Not enough rage. What was I hitting? Everything should clear that out. I gotta try something, guys. It's driving me nuts. I can't go into my interface. I can't go into the menu while in combat. One of my add-ons is throwing airs now. I gotta guess it's mix. So let's try something here. It's driving me nuts. So what we want to be able to do here, and I hate turning off mix because it's probably my favorite add-on, but we will go to interface. We'll turn on the ugly blizzard text. So what we want to do is do this now. Yeah, we still can't, see? We still can't go into the menu. So it's not mixed, that's good, at least. wonder which add-on's doing it. I have no idea. Combat.
What brings you here? Lovely.
I don't know why I didn't interrupt that. In a new.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
It's funny. People come into the stream, you know, they probably like see like World of Warcraft TBC Classic, A New Beginning, like the title, and then they come in thinking I'm going to be like in Burning Crusade probably, and I'm here. I'm leveling like a level 15 Night Elf warrior, and they're like, "Fuck this," and they leave, and I'm like,
Lovely.
"Well, you know, I'm leveling up a new character, baby." Ooh, rare. Level 17, and she casts spells. Um, let's get our 4 stamina buff here. Lady Moongazer. Uh, they're okay. They're okay. I think they're better for casting than they are for combat. They're not great, but they're okay. For casting, I think they're okay.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
The Scouting Cloak of Stamina. And 3 stamina. Sweet. Nice. Definitely can use that. Big upgrade. Huge upgrade. It's like almost 10% increase in my health, or maybe 8%. Come on, Anaya. Where are you, baby girl? Ooh, 2. Might not go well. Have I ever leveled Holy Pally? No, I have not. Never. Holy Pally never appealed to me. I always said if I was going to level Holy Paladin, like, I would rather play a Priest. Just spamming, like, one healing spell on a Paladin over and over again just didn't... did not appeal to me at all. Wrong button. Okay, so this macro is not working. Where is it? No, it's because it's not correct. Naya's here somewhere. Because I'm targeting her. But I don't see her. There's... No, it's not her. Where are you? There she is. Now she moves. One good thing about leveling up a character from level 1, right when the Burning Crusade comes out, is there's like nobody. There's like nobody in these low levels. There's a few. I've seen a few people, but it's almost entirely abandoned. Be nice if you could actually land a heroic strike. Finally,
You can kiss your ass.
took
goodbye.
three swings to land a heroic strike. Isn't there an ore? I didn't. Yeah, I didn't have this ore over here. Well, I don't really have to do that because just start attack does that. Do you see that, Robbie? Like if I hit my macro here, start attack macro, as soon as I hit that, it targets pretty much the nearest person. So it does the same thing. It won't cycle though. Like it won't like I have to tab. Right? So once I hit start attack, like if I want to attack this character, all I have to do is tab and it will attack that character. If that character happened to walk over here, I would start hitting them. That's the way I like it. It works really good for tanking. So I just hit start attack, and then if it's usually gonna target the person closest to me. So like if I have myself targeted and I'm up here, I just hit start attack, and it automatically targets them, and I'm already in attack mode. But yeah, your macro will probably cycle. That actually is not a good thing though, Robbie. If you're tanking, having a macro like what you have is not really good. I don't like that as much. Because I will spam this key a lot, and I don't want it to automatically move around. So like I'll just go up here and I'll just spam this key, and no matter how much I spam it, it's not going to change target off the first person it selects. So it makes it less likely that I will accidentally switch targets when I'm tanking, and that's why I like it set up this way. And so for me, I can just target this, and if I had another person standing here, I just hit the tab key, and it would automatically select them, and then it would automatically be in in attack mode. So works great. It works good. But yeah, I mean, whatever you like, man. Whatever you need. There's lots of little quality of life macros I use. Like I have one that dismounts. Like on my paladin, I have one that dismounts and casts judgment. Actually, it dismounts, casts seal of light, and then casts judgment. So I can just basically spam that. When I can ride it to a mob on a horse, and I'll just spam that macro. It'll dismount me, judge the target with light, and then I'll start attacking, which is it can be really time saver. And like other ones here, like I don't have shield block yet, but this macro here for shield block will automatically switch me into defensive stance and cast shield block. My charge automatically, like if you look at, you can't charge while you're in defensive stance, but my macro takes care of that. I don't have to worry about that. So if I switch to defensive stance here and I go do my shift mouse wheel up, which does my charge, it'll automatically switch me into battle stance and do the charge. So stuff like that just makes it a lot easier. But I try to make macros that you don't want macros to do too much. You got to be a little careful with that sometimes. It can be easy to go overboard with macros. You want to make sure that you're in full control of what's going on.
I am honored. Lovely. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
So many tin veins, and I cannot mine tin yet. Kind of irritating me, not gonna lie. 'You bastard in your damn heel. Inventory's full. What? 28 copper. What's... And having no bag stinks. So far, the thing I found that's been that sells pretty well is another tin vein. Damn it, is leather. So, leather and light feathers, my level, are selling the best. Solo Diamond Walk, that is pretty cool. I didn't even know you could do that. I don't play Warlocks very often, but yeah. You can certainly do a lot of Dire Maul farming on different characters, hunters and paladins and stuff, and druids.
What brings you here?
Adult chain pants. Is that better than what I have? 107. One stamina, one stamina, one strength versus what? 2 strength. Yeah, actually, I think it's a little better because I would rather have a little bit of health with that, so that's pretty good. Health is always a good thing. 54 armor versus... What was that? 80 versus... Shit. Gotta be careful with this low level gear I got. I don't. I'll try to sell the bear meat in the auction house, but it probably won't sell. Spider meat, we can just cook it.
Till next we meet.
Yeah, mind control is always awesome. Feels like leveling's fast. It was still even though they say it after level 30, it's like 30% less. It feels faster now. I'm 15 and I haven't even gotten close to finishing this zone. Usually, if I do the complete zone or most of the zone, I end up being around 16. But I'm definitely going to be higher than that this time. So. You can see how much damn damage these threshers do. They hit hard. Ooh, I can't. Is that a two-hand? Nice. I can't use it though. Paladin might like that. I can't use it. It sucks in the Night Elf area. Like the only two-hand weapon you can learn is staves. It's like you can't learn swords or maces or axes. Axes are Iron Forge, swords are Stormwind. I don't know where maces are. Maybe they're Stormwind. I don't know. I think they might be Stormwind.
Lovely.
I hate that my quartz doesn't seem to have a bar for breath, which is kind of driving me a little nuts. I hate that my breath is way up there. I don't like that at all. And quartz doesn't seem to. This version of quartz doesn't seem to have it. They say it says breath, but I don't see breath. Unless it's... What is... I don't know what mirror is. We'll turn it on just in... I don't think mirrors certainly not. Oh, there we go. Mirror is breath. Interesting. Okay, so we go to mirror. Get rid of show icons. Our width. Layer. What, 200, 28. Make it height. Just make it 2. It won't let me move it though. It won't let me move it. Let's see if there's a location. Offset, yeah. That's horizontal. I read horizontal, but my brain thought vertical. Oh, good lord. I don't know what it was. Was it 3? I think it was 3, wasn't it? Find out. Not quite 3. I guess it was 0. And then that's offset. That's way over here. Yeah, we don't want to drown. Can't really see it. This window's in the way. Sucks that you can't really like do it when the window's right here. Kind of makes it difficult, doesn't it? You know what? Let's put it down. Let's just put it here. I can actually see it here. Don't drown, Julian. There we go. That's a little bit easier to see than that having Blizzard bar way at the top. We don't want the text. Boom. Cool. I like it. Hey, where'd all the damn guys go? Disc Priests? Well, they've been reworked several times, but there was a big rework of Disc Priests probably in like Cataclysm, maybe, or maybe it might have been even as late as Pandaria. I don't remember, dude. I do not remember. But they've been changed a few times. But there was a big rework for Disc Priests, probably like, you know, around like Warlords of Draenor or Pandaria or something like that, maybe. But I don't remember. You just look it up. Sorry, man. I would rather have this bar above my head. It's easy to kind of lose it when it's down at the bottom, unfortunately. Mirror. A little bit easier to keep track of. It's right in your face, like, hey, you're dying. 45 seconds. Name, text. If you could center the text, I would put it in there, but you can't center the text, it doesn't look like. I'm very picky with my add-ons, can you tell? Can you tell? Still don't like it. Mirror. Let's turn the name text on, but let's use dozen bowls. If I could just center it. I always like to have the text centered. Oh well. You're gonna force your boyfriend to play Classic TBC. What class should I recommend? Oh, come on. That's, you know how it is. I mean, they play whatever class. You can't tell your boyfriend what to play, right? Mm. Do you know what kind of characters he likes to play? Does he like to play melee or does he like to play range like casters? I mean, really, or if you want him to play with you, then have him pick a class that complements your class. So like if you're playing, you know, like a warrior, then have him play like a priest or you know, some type of healing class. Or if you're playing a healing class, have him play some kind of damage class so that, you know, you can complement each other if you're like doing quests and stuff together.
Lovely.
You know? If he's not real familiar with WoW or he doesn't play a lot of MMOs, then I would then recommend something like a warrior because they're pretty easy to play, or like a hunter. Hunter's super easy to play. Yeah, I've only got 23 minutes until I have to get back to work, guys. But I'm gonna try to knock out this quest here, the How Big a Threat quest, and I can head into the office or head to work. Unfortunately, trying to play as much as I can. I want to get this character leveled up as fast as possible. I know I say that all the time, but this time I actually have the opportunity because my wife's, you know, she has to watch her sister's house for the next couple of weeks, so. That's funny though that you have to that you're forcing your boyfriend. You must play. Have to play.
Lovely.
I'm trying to level this character all the way to 70 without dying, too. I'm not going to delete my character if I die, but I am going to try to level this character to 70 without dying, which is going to be really difficult. But so far, I have not died, so... Damn you. Not another gust of wind. Oh, he must have stopped casting it for some reason.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
All right, we're gonna take the camp from the other side. There's less chance of getting multiples. Yes, cast your fairy fire. Pretty butterflies. Pretty butterflies. Hey Robbie, did you hear my when I was talking about they should come out with Classic Plus and they should add the two new, they should come out with a version of Classic, call it Classic Plus, and it should just basically be vanilla World of Warcraft, but they start adding content for it, like new dungeons. Just it's completely new that branches off of that and doesn't, goes on off its own path, has nothing to do with any of the other expansions. And they should add two new races, and one of the races would be a fairy class that has wings, and then the other race would be like an ogre class. Or a troll or ogre. Of course, the troll or ogre would be Horde, and the fairy would be Alliance. And they could add a whole new continent, like a whole new forested continent that's full of fairies, and they could add a whole new mountainous region that's full of either mountain trolls or mountain ogres. That would just be so cool. Of course, they don't listen to me. If they did, they'd make a lot of money. But, they're already making a lot of money. They'd make more money, though, if they listen to me. I can tell you that. You would make more money. Yes, Morpheus. Yes, listen to Julian. You will make millions and billions and trillions of dollars. I hate these guys with their damn. Do I even need to kill these Windtalkers? I don't even need. I'm like killing these Windtalkers, and I don't even need to kill them. Such a noob. Yeah, You've always wanted ogres? I think ogres would be cool. Yeah, they need a furry or they need a cutesy race. But I think fairies would be awesome. I mean, just imagine like your fairy wouldn't like walk across the ground usually. She would like, I mean, she could walk like when she was out of, but she could also fly, like kind of, float with her wings and just kind of glide along. Am I done? Maybe I'm done with this quest. Now, what do I need? I need Pathfinders, which is the spear dudes. All right, not this guy. Not this guy. I don't need you. Go away. You know what? Fine. I will kill you. You want some of this? Urgh, bastard. I mean, furries aren't like my favorite. Like, I like some. Like in Final Fantasy XIV, the little kind of cat girl. They're kind of, I mean, that's my character in Final Fantasy XIV. They look alright. Probably my favorite. I think the Ellen from Terra is kind of fun. But I'd rather play a fairy than like a furry because of the wings, because you can fly. I just think flying is fun for, it's a fun animation while you're like in combat and you're kind of floating there in the air. It's just, especially for like a caster, a fairy enchanter would just be like such a cool class, And then like an ogre, like a freaking ogre tank would be awesome. The big ogre up there with this big shield, and a big two-handed club, that would just be awesome. Alright. Alright, I have to go to work here in about 15 minutes. What else can we do in 15 minutes? Try to run over and turn this quest in. That would be a good idea. I'll be tempted to hit every mining node on the way there, though. Yeah, it's really funny when you look at World of Warcraft. It's not hard to come up with things that you could do with World of Warcraft to really bring a lot of players back into the game. It's not difficult at all. You have the lore, you have the people that love the game, you have the game engine. I mean, there's not really a whole lot you have to do. You create a couple new really cool races, create the lore around those races. I know that's a lot of work, but that's all you got to do. And then just take like the classic, the original classic Vanilla WoW Classic, and just maybe upgrade the graphics a little bit, make it a little bit nicer looking. That's about it. And then just put in like all new content though, like new dungeons and stuff, and maybe even, or like I said, you can even just create like World of Warcraft 2, which I think everybody's wanted that. Everybody's wanted to come out with like World of Warcraft 2. And I know a lot of companies don't like to do that. They have like this one IP, this one world, they have this one game, and they don't want to create another game that competes. But why? Who cares? If you create another game that's competing with your own game, you can't really compete with yourself, right? If you have 1 million people playing World of Warcraft, and then you come out with World of Warcraft 2, and 500,000 go to World of Warcraft 2, well, guess what? You still have 1 million people playing your games. It's not like you're losing anything. So I've never understood the argument of we don't want to compete with our other game. I've never really got that argument.
Lovely.
Um, I think what Riot will try to do if they're smart is really leverage what they have with, League of Legends, and really try to take the lore that they have with their characters in League of Legends and really just come, and really expand upon that and create a world that really looks like, the League of Legends. Like if you go into if you look at the art style of League of Legends, now this is just like the art style, which is reminds me a lot of World of Warcraft. But if you look at League of Legends characters, what are they called? Champions? Yeah, we can't really get a good look at them. Go. But if you look at the characters, and when you look at the League of Legends characters, right, they look very World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? They do. They look so like the art style. I mean, this, like this looks really good. I mean, I love this art style for an MMO. So I think if they can just focus on making it look like this, making their game look like this, I think this art style is a great art style for an MMO because it looks good, but it's not super high. It's not like so realistic that it's going to impact people's computers too much. If you look at like WildStar, this reminds me also a lot of WildStar, kind of the art style of WildStar. But I think if they just focus on sticking to the lore they have with their characters and expanding upon that, and sticking with the art style and keeping with that art style, then they've won half the battle, because they already have legions of people that play that love their game. You know, that love League of Legends, legions of League of Legends fans, right? Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm not even a big League player. Like, I played League of Legends like very little. I thought it was kind of fun, but it wasn't. You know, I tend to like I played Smite a lot more because Smite's got the full 3D camera that rotates around your character, and you know what I mean. It's more of like a third-person view. I don't really like that isometric top-down camera view. You know, where you're kind of looking down like this, you know, or like at an angle like this. I don't like that. I like the full 3D camera where you can just, you know, move it around in any direction. I find it a lot more immersive for like an open world game. But as long as they come out with a, you know, a fully 3D open world camera like this, and keep to the same art style and expand upon the lore of the characters they already have, I mean, I think they're halfway there. And then it's just coming down to what kind of mechanics and systems you're going to put in the game. I think the combat has to be... I think what they should do is keep the combat more like a Guild Wars 2 combat system, or more like, you know, you have to have... The big thing that a lot of MMOs have lost or tried to get away from, which I think has been proven to not work, is creating games that don't have the Holy Trinity, and creating games that don't have PvE dungeons and also PvP. I think you kind of, if you want to make a really big MMO and you want it to be hugely successful and you want it to appeal to a wide range of people, you have to have PvP, you have to have PvE, and I think you have to have the Holy Trinity. You have to have tanks, you have to have healers, and you have to have DPSers. And I think and I know a lot of people will be like, well, you know, we've done that, it's been that, maybe we should do something different. I'm like, well, people have tried to do just stuff different, but it just doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because it all comes from Dungeons and Dragons. You know, MMOs really all came from board games, role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, like, you know, like Call of Cthulhu, Stormbringer, you know, even like, there's even like, you know, the steampunk ones. What was the one? It was like, it wasn't Cyberpunk, it was something like that. There was even like a steampunk kind of MMO, like board game, anyway, you know, board game. But all these MMOs really take their inspiration from, you know, role-playing board games. And in a role-playing board game, what do? You get together in groups with your friends, and you take on challenges and adventures. And usually that is comprised of defeating enemies, which can be people, they can be monsters. A lot of times there's dungeons, a lot of times there's castles, you know, dragons, whatever. But it's always the same type of, you know, type of content. But that's what people like. People want to play in groups, and they want to work together, and they want to have a specific role for their characters. They want to have class identity. You have to have class identity. You know, you have to have a character that is important to the group, that the group relies upon. You know, every character needs to be there, right? You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to take this person out of our party and we'll succeed. No. You need to make it that those people in that party are all required. And if you take one piece out, then the party's going to really struggle. That, if they stick to that formula, League of Legends, you know, the MMO, then I think it could be one of the best MMOs ever made, because League is such a, you know, the studio behind League of Legends is such a great gaming studio. You know, they make good quality. When you think about polished games, World of Warcraft, Blizzard has always made really, you know, polished games, but Riot has also made very well-made, polished games. And there aren't too many game studios that you can say that about. You talk about like Guerrilla Games, you talk about Ninja Theory. See, these are some of the game studios that always, when they come out with a game, it's always a very high-quality game. So I'm super excited for the League of Legends MMO. In fact, it's probably the one I'm the most excited for, right? Does that answer your question? Does that answer your question?
Go in peace.
But yeah, I think it has a chance to be something absolutely massive. And as long as they take their time and just make it right, you know. But I think it's really important that they keep the art style. So like what it looks like now. I would really focus on trying to retain that art style and trying to retain that identity, you know. And you can add some stuff in there. There's all kinds of little things you can add to MMOs that some MMOs have and some MMOs don't. But there's things that I've come up with, and you know, sometimes I like to write those things down. Like I think I might still have it. Let's see, do I have it? I always come up with these ideas that I think are great ideas for MMOs, and then I always forget. Holy crap, my Gmail account's got a ton of Gmail. I'm gonna have to clean up my email today. I always come up with these great ideas, and I'm like, if I don't write them down, I always forget them. So I've actually somewhere got a document. See if I can find it. Yeah, see, and I can't even find it. Concept art, game documentation, game resources, notes, and ideas. Notes from technical discussions, skill scaling. I had one thing. I had one little document I was writing was just what makes an MMO fun, and these are some different people that have given their feedback. But there's all kinds of stuff. But I always come up with all these really cool ideas that I always forget to write them down. But I think if I sat down and brainstormed, I probably could remember most of them. Anyways, learn some of these quests in. I got 5 minutes until I have to go to work. But there's things. I mean, you could create all those things that are basic things that a lot of MMOs have. Ooh, 32 to 9.5 damage. Is it 7? 7.2. Let's get the staff. Like Guild Wars 2 has like dynamic events, and I think that's something that I really, really like. I love how in Guild Wars 2 you can just go into a zone and there'll just be like events that are occurring, and you can just jump in and help out, and that can be so you don't really have to talk to like a quest giver or anything like that. I really like that. So I hope that they would do something like that. I like some of the systems that I like that most MMOs don't have, and a lot of people consider these like kind of like survival type systems, but I don't really think of them that way. I think of them as life systems or real life systems, I guess, or realistic, or I like to call them life systems. And stuff like gear degradation, like instead of like WoW, you just have gear durability, like so your gear like takes damage, and you can see here the durability is 25 out of 30, and you just go and repair it, right? And when you repair it, it's all the way back to full. I would prefer a gear degradation system where your gear, like your sword, like let's say you're in a swamp and you're fighting monsters in a swamp. Your sword gets wet. Well, that's going to cause it to rust. So if you don't take care of your gear, like let's say you have to take time out to set up a camp, and this would be something you'd do in a camp. So I love camping in MMOs. Most MMOs don't have this. So I would like a camp system where you would set up camp. You could only cook like while you were in camp. You could rest while you were in camp to recover like maybe some sort of resource. But you could also, while you're in camp, repair gear and tend to your gear. Like maybe you have to like get all the water off your sword. Maybe you have to polish it. Whatever, right? Maintain your gear. And I would like to see that as a system inside the MMO. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't, but I would. And I think it would be fun. I like those types of things, I would like to see a system in MMOs where your sword could break. Just outright break. You could be in battle, you swing, and there's just sword breaks, Or maybe the sword flies out of your hand and goes and sticks over here. How cool would it be? I'm fighting, and all of a sudden the sword flies out of my hand and sticks in the wall over here. It's like, oh man, it slipped. How cool would that be, right? And these are little things that are, a lot of people I think probably just would really dislike it, but I just think it would be so unique. Other stuff like now these things would be really rare, right? Like your sword slipping on your hand would be, chance of that happen would be pretty low. Like it might, like if you played for an 8-hour session, it might happen like once, right? But it's just the fact that it can happen would make it really fun, because like imagine you're in a boss fight and you run up to pull the boss, and you swing and your sword slips and flies over to the left, and bounces across the floor. Can you imagine how the whole raid would react to that? They would just laugh their asses off. How funny would that be? And the chance of it happening, like I said, would be extremely low. But just the fact that it's there and that it can happen adds a little mechanic to the game that would make the game so unique, you know? I just think it's cool, you know?
Good luck, friend.
I think it's really cool, actually.
Farewell.
So I would like, you know, there's also, you can add in stuff like critical hits, meaning maybe if you get just a perfect, like, RNG-based roll, maybe like one of your hits does a little bit extra damage. You know, like your critical hits always do a certain amount of damage, but every so often you get a really good critical hit that does even more. You know what I mean? It would be RNG and people would hate it, but it would be fun, you know? It would add just a little bit of kind of surprise to the game. But yeah, I would like to have to do more stuff to do with gear maintenance. I would like more survivability stuff in MMOs where you can't just go into a dungeon without eating. Like let's say you have some sort of like energy bar, you know, or just maybe even a health bar, something. Not like a health bar, but like a different resource bar, like a fatigue bar, right? And the more you go through the dungeon, you get more and more fatigue, and your attack speed starts to slow down, right? And you have to at some point rest and recoup your energy. That's something I would love to see in MMOs. All right, so I think I'm done. I think I need to get to work, guys. Yep, it's 9:30. All right, guys, that's it for this stream. I hope everybody has a great, what is today, Thursday? And I should be streaming tonight around, right now it's 9:30. This realm is 6:30 a.m., so I'm 3 hours ahead of the realm time, which kind of sucks, but this is a Western realm. So, but I'll be on tonight, probably around 7 or 8 p.m. Thanks, Robbie. I'll be on tonight around 7 or 8 p.m. and we'll try to get this character up to around level 20. And then I want to do dead mines. I'm going to probably try to run dead mines until I get every single piece of good blue warrior gear I can get, which is going to be the shield, maybe the sword, and of course some mail armor. So we'll see what we can get. Yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later. See you, Robbie.